sometimes when you think of a good pre-recording bit,
Right.
you can just
Press
stop
record.
and just start recording.
Yeah.
I waited as my hair was growing back. Every time, once it got to a point where I'm like, ooh, I might be able to do something with this. It's like, can I get a little bit in the front without it looking like you can just see my head, if that makes sense? Like through the hair, because it's not up enough.
Yeah.
It was only very recently, within the last week or so, that I hit the point where I could do something. And then I wore a hat today.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been looking through some pictures recently, and I was like, I looked so cute with longer hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so not with this short hair.
Mm-hmm.
But that's living.
But you
and
look
it grows
hot,
back.
but you look cute with that hair.
With what hair?
With your hair.
No.
See, this is why your comments mean nothing. No, that's not true. But also, like I get it, because I look back at my hair and I'm like,
I look fine. Like, I don't think I look like bad, but I'm like, I looked better with longer hair. But then I'm also like, it was more work and it was annoying.
yeah, there was downsides. It does feel like, I feel like by wiping the slate clean and becoming pure,
Yes.
it is one of those like, okay, cool. Well, now that I've almost like checked how I feel about like my hair,
Checked hair privilege.
Yes.
I
now am like, now that I've seen what it's like without any and I'm going back to being short, I'm like, I don't really like, I'll go bald if I have to, but like, I'm good. The short hair fantasy is now over, but also I have a much better appreciation for my longer hair to like not get so upset by it. I'm like, okay, well maybe I could just take care of it a little bit better, or like, you know.
My biggest thing is that I'm like, letting the hair grow out on the sides is driving me absolutely fucking nuts.
It looks terrible at all times.
It looks terrible. It feels bad, and I hate everything about it. So like, I don't know if I'm gonna be strong enough, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying.
So question. It's funny. Yesterday I had a similar thought, but not spurned out of the sides look terrible, because the sides do look terrible.
Right.
And they stick out in weird ways. And God forbid you lay down on the couch for a minute, because like your hair's now unstuck.
Hair fucked.
What are your thoughts on taking 2023 for
Abroad?
ourselves? No, abroad for ourselves.
In what regard?
The wolf cut, the mullet.
I will not be participating in such a thing.
Why not?
I don't think it looks good.
Consider this. It would make me happy.
Well,
if
you should
no,
do
no,
it.
if you do it.
Well, then I'm sorry. I'm afraid I have to disappoint.
Okay.
Your happiness is not my priority.
Thanks. You're right.
It's on the list.
It's on the list, yeah.
But it's not my priority.
It's funny because it's like, no, this is very true. Like, this is like an Aesop fable, but there's a much deeper conversation going on. But also the hilarity of like, you should get your hair cut like this. Your happiness is not my priority. Like, goddamn, okay, shit.
There's a list, and you're there, but at the top is my happiness.
And honestly, that's okay. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And you gotta make compromises sometimes, but not in this way. This is not one of those times.
My happiness is my priority. Your happiness is my consideration.
That's a really good way to look at it. Yeah.
I always consider it, but mine has
You
to come
consider
first.
how happy you'll feel by removing happiness from me.
That part.
My mother. I can't say that. It's 10 a.m. Okay, so hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the
Hell
Oh Yeah podcast. It's two guys being dudes.
Being dudes.
Dude being.
It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. We had a lot happen last week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, things happened. Things happened. As they are wont to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a slightly more chipper note of things that happened this week.
Yes.
I finally uploaded a video of my trip because I decided that, one, I do not have the skills. Me, person who has never really delved into this like whole like field of work. Also me, I could do what the top do
Of course.
right away.
Yes.
And then when I can't,
Built different.
it's because I'm a failure.
Well,
And then the cycle repeats, as one does. We do this all the time. And I realized, well, I don't want to keep being mad about it. Why can't I just do it like this? And then it's like, yeah, so why can't you just do it like that? Who gives a shit?
don't get mad. Get glad with new Gladware Tupperware products.
Just remember, your YouTube channel isn't monetized.
That part.
So, like, who gives a shit? And then it's like,
Who gives a turkey?
I
Because
don't.
the snowman is a coming through.
sleet. It's the slush snow. Yeah. Anyway, I posted my video of like a VOD stream doing it, which is cool. But the more fun thing of it is that in the middle of
Is
it,
this the number 2?
yes,
Because you said number 1.
Oh.
And I counted it.
yes,
So
this-
they're going to want a number 2.
no, but yeah, number 1, and like so, number 1 is just like all that. Number 2 is that in the middle of it, because I don't remember what I said. So
Your number 1 was that. Oh God, what was it? I literally had it until I just said that. Your number 1 was that you wanted to do this, but you were held back, and then you were like, because I will be as good as those at the top,
Yes,
and
yes,
then you
yes,
weren't.
yes.
So then it was
So I did that, but
Yeah.
the second part of that as well, which is that's where the number 2 is,
two.
is that in the middle of it, I get a call and text
Okay.
about how it's time,
Okay, yeah.
and that my sister is heading to the hospital because it seems like it's baby time.
Yep. Big
So
baby.
that was exciting. That was fun to find out. I was up till like about 1 a.m. just because I'm like, hey, how are we
Right.
doing? And she's like, I'm still here. I'm like, you still pregnant? She's like, yep.
Still producing child.
She's trying to produce the child.
Well, it's just there's a bit of a lean time. There's a bottleneck.
Yeah, there's a little bit. She was like, I remember how stressed she was about like, she's like, I don't want to get an epidural because she's very natural. And so like, she's like, if I can't take the pain, like I'll do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll be honest, Steven. I was like, she's like doubled over in the bathtub, like in pain. She goes, as soon as they were able to like do the epidural, she's like, I took it. Cause it's like, I was like, good for you. I was like, I was like, exactly. I'm like, there's nothing to like prove, more or less. I'm like, look, if it's already so painful, like, what's the point of going? Well, I can take a little more and then I'll stop.
Right.
Like, that just seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So she was in labor for like 21 hours, I think.
Woof.
Which, as a guy,
Right.
I feel like men are dumb because we don't know things, but also we don't know, like the things that we believe wholly because we never bothered to ask a follow-up question and just were like, you said this thing, so that must be true.
Okay.
I always thought when my mother would go like, yeah, I was in labor with you for like 14 hours. You just wouldn't want to come out.
Yeah.
I thought that meant she was pushing for 14 hours. Like that's labor.
Right.
No.
And that's labor, baby.
That's not labor, baby. That's the part where it pops out.
That's the pushy.
Because I then, at the same time, watched a video online at reddit.com of,
Titled labor.mp4.
and this woman, like, they didn't make it to the hospital. Like, they're in the parking lot of the hospital. Cops had actually, like, come up or whatever. And, like, the midwife is there, like, nurse, and it's like, well, we're having it now. Like, she's coming right now. And, like, the cops show up and, like, this woman just, like, pops the baby out, like, the push, because when it's time,
They do
it's time.
that.
And I'm like, yeah, it really is just like one big push, like ultimately is what gets it out. But like 30 pushes is what my sister roughly said. And I'm like, I hope she doesn't have a kid in the parking lot.
Great story, though.
Honestly, yeah, especially since it was recorded.
And great way to guilt the child for life.
You always rush me.
You always rush me.
God, can't wait to fuck up this kid.
Yeah.
Like, well, not like Luna, but like that in the scenario of like,
Right, this
can't wait to be a
this
terrible
mystical
partner.
child.
Or partner, yeah.
Not mythical.
Partner.
Not mystical.
Partner.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Words.
But she's very cute. She's very healthy, little Luna. And I'm very happy to be uncle.
Unky Odie.
Yeah. It does feel a little different.
Does it?
Yeah. Like when I look at her, like look at the pictures of her, because it's like, well, I have like 10 nieces and nephews.
Right.
And like I have met most of them once and whatnot. But like I didn't really grow up with my older like half sisters. Like, they came out and visited like once. So like they're family, but like by the laws of nature and the land, we are family.
Would Vin Diesel call them family?
I love them. They're still family. Just to be clear, to cover my ass. But would Vin Diesel? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what the
What?
Fast movies are about chosen family.
Right.
So, like, I'm choosing this family.
Yeah.
Like my father did. No, but yeah, no, like it just feels weird. I didn't think it would. Like, or, you know, everyone says like, oh, it's different once it happens, you know, it'll be different for you. But I'm like, yeah, I'm like, that's like, I'm like, that baby lived in my house.
Yeah.
For like, just.
It lived in your sister.
Well, yeah, but she lived in the house. So like, I can, you know, like it's a little bit of that,
And
like.
we're all just living on this world, baby.
Oh, absolutely. But I just mean like, I'm like, you know, like that's so exciting. Like just like getting to like see that like, okay, she actually came out and it's there and it's real, and I'm like, oh, this is like a child, like this is like,
this will grow up and have its own thoughts and feelings and personality and choices.
I am a true uncle and not necessarily just like I'm one of like your parents' best friends, and I'm like more of like a godfather-esque uncle.
Drag me relationship.
No, I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way.
Drag me.
Yeah, you. Tell your sister to get pregnant.
Ew, God, no.
Gosh, you mean. I love your sister, but I also feel like
she doesn't want one, and we're
good with that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway, my sister wanted one,
yeah.
much to my chagrin. Not that it's like never had to do anything,
right?
But it's just fun. It's just nice. It's very cute, and just feels that like I get to be part of this kid's life, and like she's gonna want me to be part of the kid's life, and like this kid's gonna like be excited to see me, and like I always wanted to be like a really cool uncle, because like it's not even that like I could handle a kid being a baby, I could handle doing like emotional shit. Kids are just sticky.
Yeah. There's that terrifying phase where they can't quite talk properly yet, but they just keep offering you a sopping wet Cheeto, and you're like, no, that's okay, honey, I don't want that. And they're like, it's like, no,
it's like Harlan, please.
And you don't want to like teach the kid like not to give, but you're like, I don't want that.
You should also learn to accept that someone doesn't want your gift.
Right.
Valuable
So it's a delicate balance. Everything with a child is a lesson, and I don't like that.
It's the stickiest things and the places that shouldn't be sticky.
There's too much.
There's a lot of wet.
There's too much. Yeah.
Like if I had a kid, I'd have to be like, can you like cool it? We're not doing that today.
Yeah, I just couldn't do all that. Like, and we got to skip ahead to the part where like you have enough of like, you're grown enough that you can express the problem. Like you can say like, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I need to go to the bathroom, I'm bored. Like we got to skip to that part. Cause like I can't handle the aimless crying and the not knowing what it is. I have a hard enough time with a cat. He's crying. I'm like, you have to tell me what you want. And he just looks at me because he's like, officer, I can't.
He's like, I've never used words.
He's like, I don't have the words. And I'm like, but you have to tell me what is the problem.
Teach him to use buttons that you could program words into. So we can go food, bitch, bitch, bitch.
He's just going to keep hitting bitch. He's going to he's going to say, get off phone, bitch.
Maybe.
Because that's all he wants. He just wants me off the phone.
Because he wants to be on the phone.
Yes.
It's time for Caillou.
He grabs it with his hands, with his little hands. He's like, stop it. And I'm like, it's screen time.
Hey, honey.
You promised me screen time, so.
It was part of the negotiation.
Right. So I'm like, so you have to let go of the phone.
Absolutely.
He's just like, he wants to put it down and then he lays on it. He's like, no phone. And I'm like.
But he doesn't want to play with you.
No, he just wants me not on the phone.
Well, your phone is warm.
Well, then I'm like, get off phone. And he's like, no, my phone now. And I'm like, you are smaller than me and mobile. So.
Give me my mobile.
Off phone. Exactly.
And I hate that. Zuki will do shit. He's been listening to me lately, which is wild. I got real pissed at him a few nights ago when, like, I think I was streaming or whatever, but he kept jumping up onto my desk, like, 50 times, it felt like. Like, up onto the computer, and this is back when I was still in my office, and I'm just like, you fucker. Like, I don't want to deal with you. Stop it. So, on Monday, when I was streaming, I was like, he hopped up once, and I said, no. We're not doing that today. You can hang out right here in this little spot on my desk, or not at all. We're not going to be jumping up today, okay? And he went, Mom. He did not a single time jump up on my desk past that. And I went, I'm going to read too far into this and think that he understood me and knew what I meant. And I'm like, I'm trying to work right now, bud. And I love him for that. And then he's an asshole when I got to put my arm through the bed to grab the cords. And actually, this is me jamming my fingers and stuff, but like cuts and stuff. Fun times.
The perils of pet ownership, am I right?
Surprisingly deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love him. Who rescued who?
Are you happy? Have you accepted that it's going to be difficult for you to find joy?
That I'm trapped with this beast in my home for the next 13 to 19 years. That's how it feels when I think. That's how it feels to chew 5 gum. But that's also how it feels when I think about my future.
God, you ever get prime in your eye?
Oh.
That's amore. Ooh, ooh, oh yeah, hell yeah, podcast.
Oh yeah, ooh.
I started watching this anime that I don't think I'll finish. We don't got to go too far into it, but I find the name and the concept of it very funny.
Chainsaw Rompa Adventure.
Yeah. Bizarre. Yeah, that's it.
That's bizarre.
It is saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement.
Excellent name.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
So because
10 out of 10.
It's been a whole thing in anime and manga to have, like, very tropey to just have a ridiculously long name.
Right.
That's just like describes what the show is basically, but it's a mood. So I started watching it just purely based off of the name. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Girl gets isekai'd, which, do you know what that is?
No.
Any genre where you get sent to another world.
Work.
That's like an isekai kind of thing. So she...
A modern day Yankee in King Arthur's court.
Yes, exactly. You
the
get
original isekai.
You could be isekai'd in time or to another world. The original, the OG.
The original.
When the ancient aliens visited and made the pyramids.
Aliens.
Isekai.
Right.
So this girl, where like her parents and brother had passed, and so she was left a large inheritance, but she needs to pay for college. And she's like, of my inheritance, if I pay for college, it's going to be like the majority of it. So she's like, I need to make more money. She ends up getting pushed and dies, but doesn't die. She wakes up in this new world where things are weird, and is kind of figuring it out. She ends up finding this space god cat thing that's like, so apparently when you fell, I was a person a long time ago, but I've just evolved into energy at this point.
I was a robot earlier.
Exactly. You took a little piece of my energy, and so
a little piece of
a little piece, and now you can just jump between worlds at will.
Sick.
Yeah. So what would you do if you could suddenly go to a fantasy world?
Go to one of the ones where they all want to bone me.
She decides, I'm going to make money by...
I mean, that's also, those are the two things.
Yeah, but, it's fucking hysterical to me because she's straight up, immediately, she, has to, kill this wolf or whatever, and she, they give her some gold. She takes it back and is like, how much is this gold worth? This gold coin in the real world.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's worth, one gold is, something like 200 yen or something like that, or it was...
There's a conversion rate.
She needs to essentially, to make 2 million or 2 billion, whatever it is, she needs to make 80,000 gold.
Okay.
So is what she realized, then she'll be good.
Yeah.
So she buys dollar store shit, whatever, and she sets up a little shop, and they're like, they've never had her cooking.
Right.
And the people start to think she's a witch because she has fresh seafood.
Okay.
In a landlocked town where there's no physical way to get fresh fish, and it's like, right. How are you doing it? And she's like, well, I'm just teleporting.
Yeah.
I won't reveal that. And there's another person working there, and her helping them, a debutante ball and stuff. It's very sweet and fun, but also blowing these medieval people's minds by for the debutante ball, she's now a booming voice from God because she brought her karaoke set
work
with the speakers and everything. It's just which what I love the most about it is that it's very the antithesis of the core values of the Pendragon series, where it was so important to not mix territories. You do not want to influence other worlds by bringing in technology that is not native to there.
Yes.
She doesn't give a fuck. She's like, I want to make some money. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. And I'm like, I love it. She's just a hustler.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm just trying to like, she's like, I'm going to immediately like become a fake noble, like from some faraway land. And my goal is to like integrate myself into the highest of society. So I have to make the fewest amount of sales.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Work.
Good
And then I
for
got bored a
you,
few
lady.
episodes in because okay, yeah, it's fun, but not that fun.
Yeah.
But it was one of those where like you're not going to pay a lot of attention to it when you're watching it, but it is like the premise got me good, and it was enough that I'm like, that is just funny. Like I haven't seen something like that where it's like, yeah, like I just would make money
Yeah.
if I had the ability to like exploit another world.
Yeah.
If you could exploit others, why wouldn't you?
Wouldn't you?
Capitalism.
Well, they're not real people. They're in another world.
Mm-hmm.
They're in another world.
Another world. You could say that about real life too.
People have.
Capitalism. Uh-oh, stinky.
That's the theme song of capitalism. People don't tell you.
It's Cruel Angel's Thesis from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah, that's the capitalism theme song.
You're right. Hell yeah. I'm here for it. It's John Capitalism.
Well, it was penned by John Capitalism.
Of course. Yeah. With oligarchy as the producing label.
Of course, of course.
So, yeah.
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 Chance time. But Thanksgiving. I will say Thanksgiving like that. And I'm like, I don't even think of the song. Like
I
nothing
know.
happens. It's just like, I just go, oh, I've repeated it.
It's gone. Like the best references, it has uncoupled itself from the source material and become just its own thing.
Yeah. I mean, as it should.
As it should.
Did you end up seeing the P is for Papas video?
I saw the thing you sent me.
Which I don't think was the original.
Right. That was just
Yeah.
like that girl at like that like festival or whatever saying it.
Which I just thought the mood, because I could have swore that it was something you had said. Like you.
I have no idea what that Papa's thing is.
Okay.
Is it related to Papa John's?
No.
P for Papas. It's a Papas party. P for Papas. It's a Papas party.
Like honestly, like it's very you energy, which is why I'm very
Yeah.
like surprised. Like I'm like surprised you didn't already. know.
Yeah. Is the cat named Papa's?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
that
Papa's
makes-
Frida. So
Right,
it's
of
like
course,
it's
of course.
peace for Papas.
It's
It's a Papa's party, and then he's
No,
like it's
yeah,
like
it makes sense.
W for Wampus. It's a Wampus
It's a
party.
Papa's party. Yeah.
Nice. Here you
makes
go.
sense.
Yeah.
I get it.
Anyway, well, I just realized I hadn't shown you the actual thing, and I'm like, because I was like, I had only seen the actual one like in a TikTok like 3 days before.
Right.
So like, I was like, I couldn't even go to find it. TikTok doesn't even let me be logged in on my account on PC. It will be like, there's an error,
TikTok.
so I have to like clear
I
the
thought you
cache.
fixed that.
Well, yeah, I did by going back onto my computer. It had logged me out, and I said, I'm just not going to log in on Chrome.
T.
It worked.
Oh, honey, it worked.
Serve.
Well, that was the 7 bits we've got, so I don't know.
Oh, that was 7 bits
I don't
I
know.
got. What bits you got?
Oh,
you
I
got
said
any
something.
bits? Name one thing.
I said 1, and then I said 2.
Oh, you did say number 2. What's number 2?
I
You
circled us
followed
back
up.
to number 2.
You kept us on track.
That was my bit.
That was a good
I
bit.
contributed.
You were the people's champion.
Listen, a bit can build on a bit. It doesn't minimize
Bit by
the
bit. You're right. You're right.
I wasn't joking on your joke.
No. There wasn't an.
That part.
It was purely just a. That's a good meow.
It is a great meow.
Maybe like it's a little gravelly. It's nice.
Yeah, It's a very deep voice.
What if,
I love when you click on a video that says it has a deep voice, and I'm like,
is it going to be the deep voice that I don't like, or the very specific type of deep voice I do like?
well, my thing is when it says deep voice, and I'm like, this is, as someone who does not have a deep voice, I'm like, that's not a deep voice.
Yeah, like
I would never claim to have a deep voice. Even
like you
when
can make your voice a bit deeper, try to add more resonance in it.
I can pitch my voice down, and I do for certain characters, but I would never write in the description. It's like when people put
I'm using a deeper voice, but I'm not doing a deep voice.
I don't claim to have a deep voice. It's like when people will. I make videos.
If you're not Barry White, you're Barry wrong.
That part. I've made a video or two in my day. You know.
Really?
Yeah. And some of them
Are good.
are intended to be humorous.
Really? Because
Hear
I
me
laugh
out.
at all of them.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Some of them are intended to be humorous. I would never, in my wildest dreams, put the tag funny on them because that's a chop. You're asking for a disaster.
That's just not.
You can't.
The only way you can is if it's the bit, like the whole thing in of itself is a bit.
Right.
Like the Ocarina of Time video that we did, the little
Yes.
going back, that's something where we would absolutely put a tag with funny because it's like, no, we're going to oversaturate it all in, but like, that. But like when you have a bunch of normal tags and then also funny, and funny was like in the middle, you didn't even tack it on at the end. Yeah. Like you're just trying to reach, like who's out here searching for funnies?
Funny.
Yeah, like who searches funny?
Who searches funny ASMR? Who searches such a thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just saying. So yeah, I don't know. Like
I want to listen to some soft spoken comedy.
I want to hear a type 5, but soft spoken. Like it's, I just, sometimes I'm like, we can't be doing this, guys. And then sometimes they say like deep voice, and I'm like, you have a lovely voice.
Is it actually deep? Or
I
is
don't
it
know
like
if
this?
I call it deep.
Is it just that they're really trying to like?
It's usually not even that they're
Gravelly.
trying. They just have a nice,
They've got
I
some
would consider it
resonance.
a pretty normal voice. And I'm like, is that what we're calling deep nowadays?
Get a few compliments that you have a deep voice, and then you put it in. Like if
I think it's because of, I think everyone thinks they now have a deep voice because of the femboy surge.
Oh really?
I think so. I think it's all their fault.
You think femboys are ruining things?
I think the femboys have, they have not ruined anything, but I think the femboys have
created a new space.
without realizing it. They have been the starting domino, and they have had a butterfly effect that they could never have imagined.
Was Femboy Hooters worth it? Yes.
Probably, but yeah,
But at the cost of like now these guys think they have deep voices.
I think the echoes of femboy behavior will be felt for years to come.
We have truly shaken the foundation. Look, all I'm saying is rise of femboys. Look at the current political climate.
2020.
2020.
Where were the femboys on January 6th?
I'm just picturing them storming the Capitol, but it's just a bunch of femboys,
Oh yeah,
and it's just like
the ones in like the cow bikinis and stuff. Yeah, storming the Capitol.
just great.
Where's that bitch Pelosi?
They're still MAGA. Well, what's funny is like they just didn't wear those outfits because they didn't want their wives to see them.
Of course.
That's a joke.
Closet femboys at the Capitol.
Why won't Biden release the femboys? They're jailing good boys.
Oh my God. Anyway, no hate on the femboys out there. You do you. You're doing God's work.
The
But
leader of the Proud Femboys got sentenced to 18 years in prison for sedition.
but they.
Some say he's serving his time.
But my only point is they know not what they do, and that's okay.
It's fine. It's an unintended. You know, it's a new genre, which I guess is great for if you are somebody with a like deep, like an actually
If
deep.
you've got like
deep
a
voice.
real deep voice.
Now's a good time to get into it because there's clearly a market and you could show up these bitches.
Yeah. You could be the actual deep voice. People are going to start tagging their stuff actual deep voice. That'd be a fucking mood.
That's
how
good.
you get people.
That's because that's how you be derisive.
Yeah. That's how you throw a little shade on your competitors. Except we're not competitors. We all work in the same space. There's people have infinite time to be on the internet.
Fuck them. It's competitive.
Me making a video doesn't take away from someone else making a video.
It's a good time.
It's a collaborative space.
As it should be. I tried to start shit on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like actually, like I decided to like actually speak an opinion on someone's shit take.
Oh, okay.
This is what they tweeted. So you understand Twitch, to an extent, like as someone who has watched Twitch, like, you know, there's the lurking, which is typically like a, hey, I've got the tab open, probably have the stream muted, but like I'm given a view, but I'm doing other stuff, or like I'm not actively watching, I'm just listening.
I'm a number.
I would like you to know that
Today
I
I'm a
did
number.
stop by, but like I'm just going to be listening. I'm not participating in chat today, right? And it's like, yeah, no worries, do whatever you want, man. Like,
Yeah.
if anything, it's just a nice little like I will do like a lurk just so that like the other person knows that I stopped by, but like I don't expect anything out of it.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, hey, I just want you to know I'm supporting you because like, you know, whatevs. This person tweeted, I've got about 3 people who never stay and enjoy my stream. They just say lurking while blah, blah, blah. That's their first and only message, ... every stream, ... Like, you don't even know. And as a creator at this point. So I said, you dropped this, and I attached this picture. Because, like, I went into the post, and, like, I was so, like, befuddled, because, like, Coco had actually like responded to it, and like her response was so like her trying really hard to like not be like, I think that's a bad take, but like it's a very like diplomatic response where it's like, hey, I can kind of understand where you're coming from, but like I just view it differently, and like maybe that would be good.
Yeah, and you're like, honk honk, here's your clown nose.
Yeah, I'm like, you like, this is the dumbest thing I've read. Like, and then people in the comments are like, yeah, I fucking hate it. Like, if you're gonna be supportive, and I'm like, I'm really curious. Like, part of me wants to be that like full drama bitch of like, let's see how big your channels are. Because maybe that attitude is maybe a reason why you're struggling with growth. Mm-hmm. Like, we all struggle with growth from time to time, but like
there's pills for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But like attitude is part of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm like even in the like the YouTube scene, like especially if you get like really big quickly, and you almost are like, ooh, like I almost want to say like I don't want to put it as like you have to like struggle to do well. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think that is a more like
You'll appreciate the growth
more. A more appreciative, like it happens, and I think that like there's a lot of like learning that you do for yourself with it when it takes time to get going. Yeah. Versus like kind of just blowing up real quick and then like doing whatever, and you're just like, yeah, like people just don't stay, I'm just not growing. Like, what the hell? It's like, have you thought about maybe your content isn't that interesting that they don't even want to like lurk? Like, what if like they're lurking at a pity lurk? Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, you went in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a little bit more patient.
This is my oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
You guys take a quick hit of that mic.
A little sniff. That's good.
Do a line of vibes off this mic.
Hell yeah.
Can I get a bump of those vibes?
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Get your keys out.
Did you see the...
No. What was it? Say it.
Did you see the new trailer for Mortal Kombat 1?
I saw that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
I did not watch it.
Okay.
Because I've never played a Mortal Kombat.
Oh, really? I'm not good at fighting games. I'm not good at Mortal Kombat.
Is Mortal Kombat the one with fatalities?
Yes.
Yeah. I played it once. I played one time with my brother-in-law.
I mean, it's...
I was bad at it. I was horrible at it.
Yeah, no. Like,
But I'd also never played one, and they're all very like...
it's arcade.
And I don't...
Arcade fighter, yeah.
I don't do all that.
Yeah, you learn a lot. Like, did he have like an actual like pad with like the stick?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
I don't do all that.
What?
God bless those who do. I don't do all that.
Well, I bought All Star Battle Royale R for like the
Royale.
JoJo one, and I'm like was playing it a bit, and I'm like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to do some of this shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much to fighting games that they're like. I mean, I guess it's like if someone were to just pick up Smash, and I'm like, okay, that makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot about Smash, but like, I don't know how to wave dash, but I know that wave dashing exists.
I don't even know if it still exists. I know
In
it
Melee?
existed in Melee.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, in Melee, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think...
Ooh,
I
when's the
don't
last
know.
time you played Melee?
It's been a very long time. It's been a very long time.
I kind of want to play Melee.
It's enjoyable. I enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, even like the original Smash kind of fucks.
Oh, I hate that one. Ooh, I hate that one.
Did you play it as a kid?
No.
Was your first game Melee?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Of course.
I got in it, yeah.
Yeah. I get it. You were an early adopter. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Fine.
You know?
Listen, at least I didn't start with Brawl.
Ugh. A Dojo.
All you bitches out here who started with Brawl.
It was originally going to be called Dojo.
And they're like, I didn't even
They
notice
changed
a
it.
problem with the, like, where how you can slip and stumble. I'm like, it's because you didn't know any better.
Oh, I hated that.
I know.
Why would you, like,
It's a mistake.
you would just be punished for no reason.
But the people who started with Brawl, they're like, that's just part of the game. I'm like, but it wasn't.
yeah, like, I understand that. I understand, like,
I actually like Brawl. It's not great.
mm-hmm.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's not great. Like, I'm not like a Brawl hater.
Mm-hmm.
But it was different.
That would be, what would be fun?
I'd love to know. What would
Can
be
you
fun.
two-player Subspace Emissary? Or is it just one player and we just, like, would swap off? I'm trying to remember when we were trying to beat it at the cabin.
I believe it's one player. Because I would have to imagine we would have played it together if not.
Yeah. Because, like, that would be kind of fun as, like, a potential, like, stream idea of sorts, or, like, a collection of, like, podcast streams where it's, like, yeah, we're going to play through Subspace Emissary. And, like, we'll, like, switch off, whatever.
We need
and,
to
like,
buy a Wii.
Oh, we'd have to get... Is it only on the Wii? I thought it was on the Wii U.
No, it's only on the Wii. You can put it on the Wii U.
Mm.
Yeah, we could do... Well, we could play it on my Wii U. I need to buy Brawl. I don't have it.
Oh. I thought you had all of these.
I didn't have Brawl. The Brawl that we played at the cabin, that was Taylor's Wii and Brawl.
Mm. And they
and
don't
it's
have
just
it.
sort of disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might still
Yeah.
be somewhere in that house, but...
Yeah, I guess if we just ask, like, they'll be like, okay, yeah.
Or I'll just buy a copy of Brawl.
Yeah. Well, like, they have Wii's at, like, Zia all the time.
Yeah.
So.
You can just play it on the Wii U. And,
Yeah.
and I have it. So
It's not a big deal.
I
I honestly, like, I've been trying to go pro on Super Smash Brothers 3DS.
that sentence shouldn't be said out loud.
Yeah, but they did make it, and I thought that
I
was
know,
really
and
cool. I just wish I bothered to buy it and play it.
My-
But I played the demo.
My only problem with them making it, because like I think more Smash is a good thing. So like I'm not like, why would they put it on? No, I don't care about that. Like go for it. The only thing that I don't like was that they wanted it to be a consistent experience between 3DS and the Wii U. So the 3DS's hardware limitations made it so that they could not have the Ice Climbers and could not have Zelda transform into Sheik. So they had Zelda and Sheik be split as characters, which I think was the right decision. I don't think there's any problem with that.
I don't think there's any problem with having more characters
I don't think there's any
at this
problem
point.
with that.
Like,
Yeah. No problem with that. They also resulted in the split of Zero Suit Samus and Samus. Again,
also a great choice.
I think a good choice. I don't think that's a
We
problem.
get more alternate costumes for Zero Suit Samus, which is just a total win.
Right. So no problem across the board with that. I have a problem with the fact that the Ice Climbers were excluded just because of hardware limitations on the 3DS.
That's really interesting, but also stupid. Like stupid, but fascinating.
Especially because they had completely different stages on the 3DS to the Wii U. Mm-hmm. So it was like, you don't even have a unified experience in the stages. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
They were like, well, we wanted the characters to be unified. I'm like, right, but the stages weren't, and there's no cross-play, so who cares?
Yeah.
Didn't like that.
I mean, I think Ultimate's a pretty solid, like, conclusion, I guess, of sorts. Although, apparently, new gen's on the horizon.
I don't know. I mean, Sakurai's been saying since Melee that was the last one he was going to do, and they keep, like, forcing him to do it until Ultimate. And now he's like, Ultimate is called Ultimate for a reason. It's over. And I'm like, I believe this would be your last one, Sakurai. Mm-hmm. I don't believe Nintendo is willing to let this go.
Who's ready for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe?
Luigi Kart, eh?
Billy Hatcher hatches into the fray.
I purchased
Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to. I kind of was like, you know what? A lot of gaming stuff has happened that I think we could have a good game talk episode and actually have audio record. So let's go. I want to hear it. Tell me about this, Daddy.
I purchased Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Is that the story? Have you played it? Oh, really? You still have it?
I haven't started it because what keeps happening is...
I think that you holding off on it has been a smart choice, by the way, based on what you've told me, but keep going.
I haven't had... somehow, miraculously, I am getting force-fed Breath of the Wild videos from 4 years ago, but I'm getting almost nothing in my recommended about Tears of the Kingdom, which that's not a complaint. I'm happy because I don't want it, like, spoiled. So... cool. That's great. Keeping it in the mindset by showing me Breath of the Wild, but not spoiling anything. We love that for me. We love that.
Yeah.
I keep running into the situation where I'm like, okay, I have some time. It's Tears of the Kingdom time, baby. And then I'm like, no. I'm like, I have like 2 hours. And that's not enough.
No. Because
I've heard nothing but good things about this game. And it's Breath of the Wild 2, baby. And when I booted up Breath of the Wild and I started that game, I was like, this is me now for the next 9 days. And that's what's going to happen with Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm like,
I need to clear my schedule.
We need to wait.
You need to get some uploads pre-recorded.
Exactly. I need some time devoted to Tears of the Kingdom. And it keeps being like, I have enough time to start it. And I'm like, I simply can't embark on this adventure yet.
I don't want to have to stop it.
Exactly. I almost started it last night and I was like, it's 9 p.m. You can't do this.
Yeah, you'd be up till 2. And we were going to be up and recording. I mean, we were going to be up and working. But, yeah.
It's like, you can't do this. So, yeah. So, I haven't even booted it up. But the controller looks cool.
Yeah.
And I keep looking at it.
It's funny to say, I with the rise of Tears of the Kingdom, like, Breath of the Wild content in general has just been, like, flooding my feed, like, out of control. It has made me kind of want to, like, I don't know. I've been working through a lot personally lately. And one thing is, like, I didn't like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I think that the beginning of Breath of the Wild is hard.
Okay.
Because you don't have things.
Okay.
And I think that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And the more and more, like, just seeing how, you know what? No, I need to be honest. I now want to play Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
I've been thinking about it, about, like, should I just, like, actually play the game? Like, I have the Master Sword at this point, and I just need to, like, get back to Ganon, because I think the only thing stopping me is, like, I had gone all the way into the castle and with nothing. Like, I brute forced it, which I, to my own credit, is an achievement of it and in of itself. Of, like, I hate this game so much, I'm gonna beat it as fast as I can.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I just don't have all the resources to do it. I'm like, it seems like there's so much cool stuff if you just, like, go after the beasts. Like, don't just keep exploring whatever's right in front of you. Like, pick a point and go towards it. It's all the Pyrrha. It's all the Pyrrha art. I gotta know who she is. It's someone from Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh.
it's this character, and she's apparently just yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. That's the entire reason why I want to play Tears of the Kingdom, is just to know what her deal is.
Okay.
I also got to buy a big map, but I can't find one that's old. Anyway, I'm getting off track, so I'm gonna hold off on that. But the Pura person,
Yeah.
I don't know what she does. Like, I don't know who she's supposed to be.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
who that is.
No.
If they were in Breath of the Wild, I don't remember her.
Yeah. I do not remember what she looked like in Breath of the Wild, if she was in it. But regardless, you could tell that she's a baddie, and she's got, like...
Is she the...
They might be the same person.
the little one?
I think that's also her. So that might be her from Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Apparently
Was she the little helper in the place where you light the blue torch?
I think so.
Oh. Why is she, like, tall now?
I guess I just clicked on an article that says it explains.
Was she a child? I thought she was an old lady. I thought she was a little old lady. Maybe it was a kid.
I don't know. I don't think
How
she.
much
I don't
later
think she
is
was a
Tears
kid.
of the Kingdom? Doesn't look that much later. Link still looks like a baddie.
I think it's been like 100 years.
It can't have been 100 years.
Why not? It was 100 years before.
Because they would have aged.
Apparently, there's an article explaining why she suddenly looks younger.
Because if you can age from being a kid to being that, like Zelda and Link would have aged.
I'm pretty sure from the
reason why, and if anyone's going to come after me, the reason why they didn't age in Breath of the Wild was because Zelda was trapped inside Calamity Ganon, and Link was in the shrine thing. So don't at me. That's why they didn't age for 100 years.
From what I've gathered, it is somewhat explained, and it is relevant to her part in the game.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe something with immortality of some sort is like some of the memes I've seen, but I'm like, that's like, it's all memes where like, if you don't know what they're talking about, it means nothing to you. So I'm just like, I don't know, but it's cool, and she's very pretty.
I'm just looking to bone wet Ganondorf. And I know they're not going to let me.
I remember you telling me about
and
the
that's
amiibo.
Okay.
Go off, King.
Ooh!
Tell them. Inform them.
I have to say it. It has to be said. Okay. I love Ganondorf. I love him deeply with my whole heart, and I always have, and I don't care what anyone thinks. If anyone liked Twilight Princess Ganondorf, that's great for you. I love that's for you, Sweaty. He was ugly.
Grow up.
He was ugly in Twilight Princess. It's okay. We all have ugly phases. It happens. It happens. And that's not a problem. But he was ugly in Twilight Princess. Done. Unfortunately, in, the annals of Super Smash Brothers, they like to make it so that different Link characters represent different different games in the franchise. In Smash 4, which was when Amiibos first came around.
Which, side note, I believe it was for Ultimate pre-DLC, you have every Amiibo.
Yes.
I don't know if you've gotten them all since then, but
yeah, no, I haven't gotten all the Ultimate ones.
They were in the.
Yeah, I had all the Amiibos from 4. Didn't have all the ones from Ultimate.
Sora one?
I think so. It's probably come out by now. I don't know. I just bought some more because I had to buy a couple for like the Pack Smash video. So then like I bought a couple of the Ultimate era ones because I was just like, I would like this.
He's apparently the only character in Super Smash Ultimate to not get one so far. They have yet to confirm if he would get one.
Might have licensing issues with Disney since it's like merchandise.
Most likely it won't be until like it's just going to take time.
Yeah. They wanted them all to represent different time periods. Oh, actually, no, they didn't. They didn't do that till Ultimate. They made everyone look like in Smash 4. Yeah, no, there are.
Breath of the Wild wasn't out.
Yeah, they're all actually supposed to look like different.
It's because we have this computer here that I just like rammed my leg into it.
Yeah, they're all supposed to look like different periods or whatever. Regardless, the Ganondorf in Melee and Brawl is Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. Hot, sexy, choke me.
A great one. Yeah.
Choke me, father. He's delicious. In Smash 4, Twilight Princess Ganondorf.
Not
It's a
having
chop.
it. Yeah.
It's a chop. That was when they made the amiibo. Was for Smash 4. So the amiibo is ugly Ganondorf. We all have ugly faces. It's okay. I still love him. I still love him. But he was ugly. Now, Smash Ultimate, hot, sexy daddy Ganondorf is back because, you know, they went back to having him be Ocarina of Time. Twilight Princess Ganondorf? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he's back to being a hottie with a body. Old man Dorf, choke me out with your thighs. And yet, they didn't make a new amiibo because he already had an amiibo.
Yeah.
So then I figured, oh my God, Ganondorf is back. He's back, baby. The movies are back. Ganondorf is back now in Tears of the Kingdom. Hot, sweaty, wet, delicious.
Can't sopping
fucking
wet.
wait. Can't fucking wait. Because they come out with amiibos for the Legend of Zelda games. They came out with, like, you know, the little...
Oh,
what are those things called?
They're the little ball turret dudes. I hate that. How do you beat them?
With the little... You shoot them in the eye.
But you have to have a special kind of ammo for it?
No, if you shoot them with anything, it'll, like, kill them. If you use an ancient arrow, one shot kills them.
Oh, but you can shoot. You have to shoot them in the, like, the eye that
the
shoots with the
eyeball.
laser.
Yeah. Yeah, them. Guardians.
Guardians.
They made a little Guardian amiibo. They made, you know, Milkmaid Zelda amiibo. You know, like, they made all of them.
Midna with Wolf.
Yeah, all the heroes.
I do want to play Twilight Princess because I've never gotten to play it. Like, purely out of just, it was the one, like, apparently Skyward Sword got re-released on Switch.
Yeah.
Which I never played that one either, and I heard it was good.
Twilight Princess is the only one that they haven't re-released, actually.
Why?
They just probably haven't gotten around to it.
Nintendo doesn't like money, but they do.
Apparently I saw some, this is me completely going off book.
Yeah.
I saw a video that I did not watch that said that Twilight Princess, the title of it was that Twilight Princess was the Zelda game Nintendo didn't want to make.
Oh.
So maybe that's why.
Maybe.
Maybe they're harboring
'Cause
some
it's
hatred
dark?
for it. I don't know. It's the edgy one. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It's the emo girl one, which is why I love it. They gave Zelda dark hair for the first time, and I was like,
Oh, I didn't even know
that's
that.
where brown hair Zelda comes from, is Twilight Princess.
Rutherford.
Yes.
Oh,
Rutherford
she's
behave.
very pretty.
Yeah, that's where dark haired Zelda comes from in Brawl.
Rutherford.
You
Well, no,
understand?
Rutherford was
Smash.
Smash.
From 4, but
Yeah.
they kept dark hair Zelda into Smash 4.
Smash
and then in
4
Smash
is-
Ultimate they were like, now she's like blonde and like she's representing one of like the cartoon games, but they put her in like
Weird.
modern style. So she
Okay.
looks kind of weird. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like Ultimate, she doesn't look like a Zelda that we've ever seen because she looks in a Zelda terms how like Pit looked, where it was like, this is what Pit looks like. And I'm like, no, Pit was a sprite and this is this new invention you've made and you're calling Pit. That's what this Zelda is, because she didn't appear that way in any 3D games. But like, she looks good, but
Yeah.
what the fuck? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense. Is the door on? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so where is hot, juiced up Ganondorf?
No.
Nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
They won't make a new Ganondorf amiibo.
I wonder if anyone's like made a 3D print of it, 3D model.
It's not enough. I need it to be official.
It does.
That's
feel
how
different.
I am. I can't help it. People are like, look, I made this amazing, incredible
It's like I want to buy it.
Pro controller that looks better than anything Nintendo has ever made. And I was like, but Nintendo didn't make it, so I don't want it. I don't know. There's a darkness.
It's weird how
There's-
like there is something about like I would like off-brand versus official. For some things, it's like
There's a darkness in my heart that won't accept it. And I don't know why that is. But that's just tea, and that's that on that.
oh god, for real.
But yeah, they won't make any more Ganondorf amiibos, and I'm like, that's fine, cowards.
No,
That's
so
fine.
so we can make. They had no problem. This was my complaint in my text to you, but I think it bears repeating. They had no problem sexualizing amiibos by making wedding dress Princess Peach.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And like,
That's what that is.
first of all, God bless them for that.
Right.
But second of all, Give us the daddies.
Where is he?
It's free.
Where is he?
Do they not want to make more money?
Evidently not.
They are the weirdest company that sometimes feels like they want to make money, but only in their way.
Right.
And it's like, okay, respect, but also like, please, for the love of God.
Here's my thing: is like, you can't be working with one hand, you know? Like, you cannot be making him. You cannot with the left hand say, this is his time. It's time for him to be wet, shirtless, and hot.
Yeah.
And then not with the right hand create an amiibo of wet, shirtless, hot Ganondorf. Like, how very dare you?
How dare Yaze of you?
How could you do such a thing?
On the day of my cat's quinceañera.
How could you do such a thing? I don't remember if I yelled at it on here or on a stream where I talked about, like, how dare people be saying, like, Ganondorf is now a thirst trap. And I'm like, okay, first of all, check your fucking role. He's been a thirst trap.
He was a thirst trap in Ocarina of Time.
That's what I'm saying. And if you didn't see him that way, that's on you, not on him. He's been a thirst trap. Open your eyes and wake up.
Also, he's rare. Like, he's a male Gerudo.
Yeah. Only one born every 100 years.
I forgot about the Gerudo women.
I found some fan art that was of, like, an alternate reality where, like, it was so, like, hurt, comfort, angst, fanfic-esque of, like, an alternate reality where, like, Zelda and Link and Ganondorf were all just, like, friends. And then it was revealed that, like, Ganondorf had to be, like, evil or whatever, and it, like, tore them all apart, but there was still, like, feelings between all three of them.
It's a thing, like, that's his destiny, right?
That, like, he's trapped in the same, like, loop that Zelda and Link are, where he will be reborn forever, and he will be evil because he can't not be.
Nature versus nurture.
Yeah, just like Link can't not be the hero, Zelda can't not be, you know, a hero. Like, they're just, like, trapped in this infinite loop because it was set, all of it was set in Skyward Sword.
Oh.
Skyward Sword is, like, the prequel to everything that, like,
sets the, like, the wheel of time almost kind of energy.
Because Ganondorf isn't in Skyward Sword. Demise is in Skyward Sword, and he's, like, the god version.
He's Godendorf.
Of Ganondorf, basically. And
more like Ganondorf.
Yeah. And spoilers, no spoiling, but, like, when Link defeats Demise, Demise puts a curse on him that is like, we're going to keep doing this for all of eternity now.
Until I beat you.
Just period.
Yeah.
We're just going to do this forever.
Oh.
And so that's what creates Ganondorf. That's what creates every Link and every Zelda.
How interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what that is. And I'm mad.
Yeah.
Because my jar is empty.
I get it. And I have nothing to fill it. I have everything to fill it, but nothing to cover. Oh. There's been some really cool game stuff lately.
GameStop
is a store.
And I'm like, GameStop.
Final Shape.
Yeah.
Teaser trailer with Cade back, although I don't think he has a ghost anymore.
It just raises questions. It's like, is this some sort of, like...
It's getting everyone
talking. If you go through the portal, is this some sort of liminal space where every guardian and every, like, thing that has died lives there now? Is that what we're getting at? Like, is that what that is?
Is that where their light goes?
Right. Is that what that is?
Because, like, energy can't be created or destroyed.
Right. So do they just, like, live on inside Traveler?
That could be interesting.
Is that what this is? But in that case... why would the witness want to go in there? Because if every dead guardian's in there, that's a packed house.
Yeah, well, where do you go when you die? When you're already in the Traveler?
Into the Traveler.
Deeper.
Into the Traveler.
It's like Inception.
We open another portal into deeper Traveler.
The end of Final Shape is us, like, waking up again, and it's the three of us and the witness all strapped to chairs on a plane because, like, we just...
Right, we needed to just flip upside down to trigger that response.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's funny. But, yeah, what do you do? I guess mild spoilers, but they revealed it at the end of the Sony, like, PlayStation Direct thing that they did.
Yeah.
And we basically had a scene with, like, Cora talking to Cade, who had, like, light glowing from his eyes a different color, and you know, all that. Like, you've missed a lot has happened and whatnot. It's like
I wish you were there. And then he was like, I wish I was too, kiddo. Which I was like, kiddo? That was weird to me.
I think that was more of a, like, just a Cadeism. It does feel weird that he say it to Ikora, but...
That's the thing, is it was in keeping with his character. It was a little weird to say it to Ikora, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure she's older than you.
I feel like he should have used, like, a better, like, nickname for her.
Yeah.
Like something that he's called her before.
Yeah. I would totally see him calling someone kiddo.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird for him to call Ikora that.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting. I think, like, I mean, the fact that they killed Cade in Forsaken was wild. I remember us losing our minds over it because, like, we didn't think they could. I remember before it came out, us talking about how, like, they should kill a character. Yeah. I think Bungie could pull it off because, because we were talking about how, like, there's no stakes ever. Like, ever in this fucking game. Like, we always know we're gonna win. Nothing ever really goes wrong. Yeah. I mean, things have just continued to go wrong. But, like, it never... Like, it's like, oh, no, everything's fucked. It's like, okay, but the seasonal model also makes it seem like it's not.
Well, it was like nothing ever really changed. It was like you destroyed the tower in between Destiny 1 and 2. Cool. Then, before the campaign was even done, you gave us a new, better tower. It's like, sick. And then it was like, you know, like, Gaul, the Traveler. It's like, we freed the Traveler. There was no repercussions of that. Everyone's got their light back. It was like, and they were like, Nameless Guardians. The emotional, like, of, like, going lightless and then getting it back. And they were like, Nameless Guardians died. And I was like, yeah, and they're nameless.
Yeah, Guardians die all the time.
Guardians die every day.
If they weren't the Guardian, then I don't want to hear it.
I think they waited long enough to bring him back.
Yeah, like
but it feels, and especially since this is like the end of the Light and Dark saga, it feels earned.
And they got Nathan Fillion back as well, which is cool.
Yeah, I think if they were ever going to bring him back, they waited long enough, and I think it feels earned, so it works for me. I'm cool with it.
Let's have everyone back as much as we can, right? Like everyone's
Destiny 2 Ultimate. Every Smith
Duck Hunt joins the fray.
Cade lucks out.
Did you see the like, I guess it's gonna be the ornament sets, but the Sony crossover ones?
No.
They look pretty cool. I think the Hunter set is supposed to be off of, like, Horizon Zero Dawn. The Titan set.
Which one's based off of that little crochet puppet man?
Oh, you mean from Little Big Planet?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Warlock. It should be Warlock.
I'm trying to remember what the Warlock one was.
Little Big Planet.
No, there's like, I think the Titan gets the pseudo samurai set from Ghost of Tsushima, which, like, I saw it and I went, that's cool. I want that. I want that on my Titan. That looked dope. I'm trying to remember what game. Oh, I think it was more like Mass Effect-esque, I think is what. No, because Mass Effect isn't necessarily exclusive. It was something more like, kind of like, I forget what exclusive game it was, but either way, it looks cool.
Last of Us.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care.
I don't know.
I know. I'm just lamenting.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's okay.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there any other, like, interesting games or, like,
marathons? They're bringing Marathon back.
I don't know what that is. I heard Paul Tossi's video about it.
I never played Marathon. It was the sort of, you know, the precursor to Halo. They took a lot from it to make Halo. I love the Marathon inspired helmet in Halo 3. It's my favorite. It's the security helmet. It's the one with the big sunglasses. It's my favorite. But I've never played Marathon. And to be blunt, that game came out so long ago that it's like,
I'm not gonna play it.
It's gonna be a completely different experience. Like, but Bungie makes good games.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll try it when it comes out.
Bungie can be really frustrating, but I'm pretty sure I've yet to find a game that has better gunplay than Destiny 2, and that's what's frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, like, as much as Bungie infuriates me and bores me in equal measure, I also trust them to make something that I will play.
I won't be miserable actually playing the game.
Right. I might be frustrated. but usually not at the mechanics of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's at everything else.
Correct.
So like, I imagine it'll probably be good, and I'll try it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Well, I say that I'll buy it,
Yeah.
and then eventually,
Yeah.
I'll
get
try
around
it.
to it.
Like, I love Dead Space with my whole heart, and I think that remaster is fucking gorgeous and an incredible work. I still haven't gotten past the medical level. I just haven't booted it back up again. But if anyone asked me, I'd be like, absolutely, you should buy it. It's amazing.
It is.
But I still haven't. I'm so fucking bad about games nowadays. I don't know. Something shifted about like 4 years ago, and it's just like brain broke. Can't like finish a game anymore.
Yeah, I had that. I kind of like got to like a breaking point myself recently of like with streaming, because I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, if I start a game on stream, I then should only play it on stream because I don't want people to miss out on things.
Yeah.
But then like also I do just want to play this game, but also I want to play all these other games too. Like I should probably play something that like I should like, you know, is new to me and not necessarily the same thing. Yeah. But it's like, okay, well, why not just like finish things? And then I realized, you know what? Sometimes I like to play games, and I'll even play them for a couple days, get really into them, and then I just hit a point where I'm like, okay, I just want to do something else, and then I don't really ever go back to it. But like that's okay.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of the way I am, and I feel like you're very similar, where it's like eventually there's a chance that I'll like just get a bug up my ass and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back and just try to like finish this out real quick just so that it's done.
Yeah.
One less thing I have to stress about.
Like, I'm trying to think of the last game I finished. Well, it was Divinity, but that was because like that was group play, so it was sort of just a given. We would have all had to give up in order to not finish that. So it was like the expectation.
The only way to lose was to not play.
Right. So the expectation alone carried me through to the end, and I'm glad it did. It was a great game. But I'm just saying, like, that was a different situation. Me on my own, the last like new game that I had tried that I finished, it wasn't Dead Space. I haven't started Tears of the Kingdom.
We've only played a little bit of Portal 2.
Yeah. What were games before that? Games. I don't know what else I've even bought.
It Takes Two. We beat that.
Ugh. That was group play again. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to finish that game. I don't know why that game is so highly regarded.
I think it was just a really cool puzzle game.
It was fine. It was well made.
I thought like solving the puzzle, like playing that game muted.
It would have helped.
Like sometimes the stories are fucking annoying, but at the same time, like I really did enjoy like some of the puzzles were like really interesting how you had to like solve them.
I'm realizing maybe I just don't like puzzles in games.
Did you hate Portal 2?
I didn't hate it.
Like I don't like, I'm just curious on your opinion. I don't have one way or the other.
I didn't hate it.
It was one of those, hey, let's just play something.
No, I didn't hate it. It was good. I don't know. There's different levels of puzzle and problem solving and stuff, you know? Like I don't know.
I think Portal 2 has a much more satisfying puzzle feeling, especially like when you figure out like the momentum and stuff, and you're like, oh, this is some weird. You like finally get the line and you do it, and you're like, fuck yeah, it worked. Let's go. Yeah.
What was it? Dread. Didn't finish Dread.
Yeah.
Got pretty close actually, and then finally was like, I have not been having fun for the last 6 hours. What am I doing? And just stopped.
That's not fair to you.
I don't know any other games, but basically, like, I get the. I don't know.
Yeah. And I oop.
The last game that I can like think of that like I like, well, Infinite. I finished Infinite. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Finished Infinite. Finished Dragon Age Inquisition. That was a really long time ago.
That was before Tyler and I were dating. To give you some semblance of time of how long ago that was. We were living with Taylor at the time.
Yes, we were.
Holy shit, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, because I was playing it in the loft. Yeah. Yep.
Every once in a while, I'll like, especially if I ever like play Magic, or if I'm listening to KDA pop stars, because I was in that period where I was like, I'm gonna listen to this song 2,000 times. Pop stars.
Yeah.
KDA. But like I'll like remember going in there, and I think it was because I was waiting on once I got my refund check, I bought the bed I have now, but I was sleeping on your cot
Yeah.
for the longest time in the old game room.
Yup.
And then the time where we slept in and overslept for the Pats run.
They got our money. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't care. I got my shirt.
I did the good thing. I donated and I got a shirt and a hat.
Yeah. Oh, and a hat. That's nice.
I paid extra to get a hat. And that's my that's my working hat. It's one of them.
Yeah.
I got the black hat that's sweat stained, and then I have the Pats Run blue hat that is sweat stained, and those are the working hats.
Those are good. You got to have a good working hat.
So when you're working, you get out your working hat.
That's why I bought my big ass straw hat.
That's your walking hat.
That is my walking hat.
It's your walking hat. There's a difference.
There is.
There's a difference.
One thing interesting conundrum that I've run into.
Okay.
So I have the original like version that came out, like Apple AirPods,
Yes.
and they are just old and
Tired.
they last about an hour at most, and not phone calls. Phone calls, no, won't like that.
Yeah.
So I don't like using them. So I bought separate like earbuds off of Amazon for like $25-$30. They were like Bluetooth ones, because I'm like, cheap bullshit, whatever.
Okay.
I just need something for when for when I can't be rocking the kitty cats.
Yes.
Because like those are just like big headphones at the same time. I cannot wear my hat without it looking like crazy.
Yeah.
So part of me has been thinking, what if I took a little blade,
A tiny small blade,
and made some little cuts so that if I were to put my hat on, the ears poke out and I could at least bring it down a little bit more.
right?
So that it looks more like it is sitting on my head. There are a little bit of ears coming out, but I can still have the cans on, because then I wouldn't have to like be fumbling with like the AirPods case in my pocket with the little zipper that takes too much work to actually open and close. And like, because I got to put one earbud in, because when this one gets close to dying, I got to swap to the other, so that I can make them last my whole run.
Yeah.
Because it's always about an hour.
Yeah.
You understand? Because
I
and the
understand.
reason why I'm having to use the AirPods now is because I'm pretty sure I left my old headphones at my sister's house.
Oh.
Because I cannot find them. I like tore my bag apart, and I'm like, fuck, I think I somehow, like, they must have fallen out or something. And like, that's fine. Like, again, they were just beat up. But I'm like, I wish I could find a happy middle ground. Because the only problem with running with like cans, like anything with like these like nice cushions, is like, it's so hot and you get sweaty that like you take it off and you can like smell it. You know?
I never run in ones that have cans, so I'm unfamiliar.
It's a weird thing.
I can imagine.
If you know what I'm talking about, please sound off in the pig pen, because like it sounds very like, oh,
Pick
I'm
your head up
nasty.
out of the slop and let us know.
Well, if you think about it, like if you're getting like hens,
No,
like,
it makes sense. I
like
can
when
understand.
when you're
it.
like streaming in your room and like you like forgot to turn on the fan or something, and so like it got hot and you're like, ooh, okay, and you like do this, and then your hair's got that little like wet feeling, and you're like, ew.
Yeah.
It's like that, but all over.
Right, Sweat.
Yeah, you know Sweat.
I've met her.
You love Sweat.
Well,
You're fine.
love?
No, not a good word.
I've experienced it.
That's true. But yeah, so I've been like, I don't know if I want to like fuck with this hat. And then I was so sad because I wanted the big hat.
Right, big.
It was sold out by the time I got around to like being like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just get it.
I remember I was there.
Yeah. So then I bought the other one. I did that here actually. I bought that other one. So I got that one. Then when I
I
started,
think we did it on camera.
we did. I went to Leslie's Pool Supply because I needed to learn from Jake there.
From State Farm.
And they have the hats there that have a bigger brim
Yeah.
for $20. And I'm like, I could have paid less money and gotten it immediately and not had one that looks a little bro-ish. Because mine looks like it could just have a Hurley logo on it.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, maybe a PacSun.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Billabong.
Of all those brands, There's some like real bangers in there.
Oh yeah.
Like Volcom.
Oh yeah.
Volcom
Stone.
Yeah.
I went to high school.
It's some good shit. Absolutely.
Yeah. I saw a C4 once.
Oh. I never heard of C4.
That's not true.
No. I'm not lying.
The energy drink, C4.
Oh.
Dirt bike fuel.
Oh. I see. I didn't make that connection. I didn't understand. Yeah, you went too hard.
I was mocking that a person who would wear Volcom Stone would probably drink a C4.
Rockstar.
Which I further mocked by calling it dirt bike fuel.
Correct. To ground it back in 2009,
Yes.
Rockstar Energy.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think C4 was around then though.
I don't think not as an energy drink.
I think so.
Because like I got into like
Rockstar was the
stuff.
more like popular one though.
I don't think C4 having a like drink, like energy drink that you could get in the stores, like that's a much more recent thing. At least from what I've noticed as someone who does take pre-workout or has in the past.
Oh.
Zach and I were able to take Jacked.
There's NOS.
Yeah. NOS, there it is.
There we go.
What about a Rip It?
A what?
The Walmart, they sell it at Walmart, or at least they used to.
I'm unfamiliar with such a thing.
They're the Walmart brand energy drink. It's called a Rip It.
Work. I mean, that makes sense for Walmart.
They're
I love that
trash.
for them.
Yeah.
I love that for them.
You know what?
Just rip it, man.
Yeah, rip it.
Just fucking rip it.
Rip it.
Rip it.
Grip it and sip it. Rip it and sip it.
People won't tell you that. Tip it. People won't tell you that.
Tip it.
Tip it.
Yeah, they just don't. They just don't tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to cut little holes. I don't know if that'd be silly. And then
Cut
I'm
it
like,
in the hat you don't like as much.
well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't buy. Like, I only have one hat.
Oh, I thought you bought the Leslie's hat.
No, I didn't. But I guess that's like kind of like the trade-off is like I could also just buy the Leslie's hat. That would still not help the problem of like music, like
Right.
but it would be more of the fantasy of the big hat.
What if you just buy like a fairly nice set of wireless earbuds
That is also
and then
a possibility.
improve your life in multiple directions at once?
So that is something that I have considered, but have not seriously considered on my own
Okay.
without external input.
Okay.
As in, I have not talked about this before out loud, and no one has told me, like, why not just, like, maybe just, like, invest in a nicer pair that probably are better for, like, running anyway, and, like, just do that.
Yeah.
Because, like, sometimes it's, like, I don't even think about it because, like, well, I just got to make it work.
Right.
Like, I could just whatever makes do for now. And then eventually I can get to a point where, like, I'll do that.
Yeah.
It's like,
But maybe that point could be today.
you're right. You know which ones I'm not going to get? Those Samsung ones.
The old ones are so good and the new ones are so bad.
I can't believe
so
it.
bad, so
I
bad,
genuinely,
so bad.
I'm glad I gave them to Tyler and she uses them, but like because I was like, I
love the old
wanted to
ones.
like them so bad. Because I was like, these seem pretty nice.
I love the old ones. They fit perfectly. The new ones, dirt garbage.
They like
garbage
cut
dirt.
into your ear
Yep.
in like a weird way, and it's like, am I just not putting it in my ear correctly? And it's like, no, you
No,
are.
just bad. Just bad, 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 bad.
Bad, sad,
Bad, bad.
sad,
bad.
sad, sad,
Sad and bad.
bad and sad.
No off-topic questions.
Sad, bad.
So
Excellent fade out on that one.
that was a really good.
Some of them like cut too sharp. That one, excellent fade out. Just the right time.
A little treat.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh. Trying to think if there's any other like interesting games. Shut up, baby.
Baby cry. That game. Baby.
Baby.
Crying baby.
Yeah.
That game.
You know, we could always do a shorter episode this week. In all fairness, just
What is funny is this episode feels, not in a bad way, but it feels like we've been talking for 9 hours. And then I looked over, I was like, it's been 1 hour.
yeah,
good
like
heavens.
I'm like, no, this has been like a very good like
Right, I'm like, what a full
episode.
episode. I look over, I'm like, hour and 10 seconds. Oh.
I'm like, this isn't enough time.
Oh.
I mean, it could be.
It could be.
Will
It could be beef.
Or-
Is there anything else for us?
Should we end the stream, or should we end the video, or should we say that we should probably end soon and then go on
Which
for
will
30
make us
minutes?
go on for 30 more minutes. Surely that's
It's the 30-minute warning, which is them saying we're done.
knock knock. I don't know why
Push
that
up on the broom.
yanked that bell.
Subscribe.
Ding.
You gotta do the little animatic where it's like, make sure to like, comment, ding, and it does little.
Is Taco Bell... Oh, my God.
Is Taco Bell what?
The sentence that almost just came out of my mouth.
I'm trying to suck it out.
Want to taste it?
Tell me the words.
Okay. I'm going to preface this by saying that my initial thought was I was thinking about Del Taco.
Yeah.
The sentence that was supposed to come out of my mouth was, is Del Taco the one who does like the bell going dong?
Mm-hmm.
And as I was saying it, my brain went, maybe it's Taco Bell.
It is Taco Bell.
Because it's a bell. So then I was about to say, is Taco Bell the one with the bell? Dong.
That would be like a good question, but also I think that your brain caught it in like, so like caught it in a way that like
My brain censored me in real time.
as you started to say it, you realized this sentence won't sound right
Yeah.
because is
Is
Taco Bell
the one with the bell?
the bell that goes dong?
Dong.
It'd be like, is the Taco Bell the one that has like the jingle with the dong?
Right.
Which one has the bigger dong?
I have never eaten Taco Bell in my entire life.
Yeah.
That's not like a point of pride or shame. It's just a statement.
interesting.
Yeah.
No interest in it.
None. I've just never eaten Taco Bell. I've also never had Del Taco. And I'm not really looking to change that.
Del Taco is very mid.
I've had a handful of Del Taco's French fries, and they were pretty good.
The crinkle cut.
Hence, pretty good. They weren't great.
I
They weren't
understand.
even good.
No, I
They
get
were
it. I get it.
pretty good.
I get it. It's
Have they always been crinkle cut?
at least as far as I recall. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because like I'm a shoestring bitch. That's fair.
I've never met a French fry I'm unwilling to eat. But
Some steak fries, like fresh fries. You mean
as opposed to what?
lukewarm fries?
Oh, I don't care. I'll eat them anyway.
They
Give me
gotta be.
anything.
They gotta have some crisp.
I don't need it. I prefer it, but I don't need
You
it.
like soft, wet, cold?
Yeah. It's a potato, so I'll eat it. I'm not saying I want it or prefer it, but if it's there, it's hammer time on them taties.
That's what's up, I guess. Yeah.
But I'm just a dirty little potato pig, so what am I supposed to do? What else am I supposed to
Flop
do?
around in the field, rooting for trash.
I would make that sound, but I don't want to because like that feeling of like that that like glabial flap that has to happen back there to make that happen. I don't want that at the back of my upper throat, lower nose right this second. Yeah, I don't
Just
want
like
that.
Lulu breathe.
Yeah, and I don't want to feel her right there right now.
I miss Lulu sometimes, and then I'll think about her breathing on me, and I'm like, I don't miss your dumbass at all. Yeah, but I do. I do think about. I visited Tyler, and because I was dropping some stuff off for her, because it had been like a week or so since she was at my house, and she had watched my house for me to watch Zuki, and I was like, instead of being like, she will come over eventually, I'm like, she will probably forget, and it's not out of me being like, you need to take your shit. It's just like, hey, like you have stuff, like you're gonna want this stuff, so like, I have 20 minutes, so I'll just put it in my car and go. You know, you understand. And I was talking to her and like filling her in on like all the good news, all the good stuff of my trip and whatnot. And I had, what were we just talking about before this? Because the baby distracted me from what spurned me to say this, because I don't remember what I'm supposed to be bringing up.
Pig snorting.
Pig snorting.
Making the honk honk noises, and then Lulu.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying you missed
Oh,
Lulu.
yes, with Lulu. There it is, the Lulu part of it. And I was telling her, and I was like going through like my posts on my Discord, because I was like, yeah, I've been like walking every day. She's like, whoa, really? And I'm like, oh yeah, like I walk like a 5K every morning. Like, and she's like, no, you don't. I'm like,
Yeah, too big.
yeah, and I'm like, here's a post every day of like my like steps and like the mileage and whatnot.
Look me up on Strava, bitch.
Zach had me download Strava and I never used it, but that was
Brandon
very
had me
funny.
download Strava, and I
Never
never used it.
It was funny. That's a good one. I got it. And I like it. But like, I was like, yeah. She's like, holy cow. She's like, how? And I'm like, well, like Cece and I were just talking one day about how like Lulu's like still a little puggy and she probably needs to be like walked more. And since I'm home all day, like I should walk her more. Like at least like take her out to go potty, like take her out on a walk to go potty because she won't want to go potty unless she wants to. But if she's on a walk, she'll take advantage of it.
Right.
So it's
this
almost
is
like,
novelty.
Yeah.
This is novelty poops.
And so like I was like, that's all it all started with was just like walking around the block once, like with her, with like the dog, and you know taking the time to do that, as well as like a little bit of like therapy stuff of like it's probably good to go outside and like get some fresh air.
Be in the
just,
environment.
yeah, don't have your headphones on right away. Like listen to it.
Experience the world.
So doing a little bit of that, and I'm like, honestly, I just tried to do that, and then it started to become like an everyday thing, and then I don't know, like one day I was like, I want to go a little bit further, and then you just keep doing that, and then eventually you never come home until you do. But I dropped it with my hand.
I heard that.
I didn't mean to, but it was one of those where I went, I've accepted it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like you could feel in the way that it landed.
Yeah, sometimes life happens like that.
It's crazy. But yeah, she was just very surprised, and I'm like, just start small. She's like, we're doing like couch to 5K. We're gonna be super excited. I'm like, I love that for you. I'm like,
That's cool.
I'm like, do whatever feels right for you. I've done couch to 5K, and the only reason I didn't like it is because week 5 in particular is a really big jump, and when you've only done it like, I've only walked like 3 times. If you're doing it like 3 days a week, because you're like doing all the running, it's like if you were walking every day. Like, granted, I am exhausted every day at 9 a.m.
Of course.
And I haven't figured out how to maximize my energy while like under the constraint of I want my morning walk to be the first thing I do every day. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like for like optimal parts, like I should probably work out later in the evening.
Right.
But I'm not walking around neighborhoods in the evening.
No.
Because I don't want to get shot.
Yeah.
And that's not because it's a bad neighborhood, but because people are crazy. And the 6 a.m. morning crowd, we're cool.
Right.
We're fresh.
Crushing it.
I yelled at kids at the park recently. Well, I didn't yell at them.
They deserved it, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, they were just like I was intimidated by all these kids.
Kids are scary.
On the like, I straight up had one of those moments where like I was suddenly in middle school again.
Yeah.
Where like it was the Fennekin Community Day. I was just walking a whole bunch. I did the research, actually. I bought the little dollar research, and I realized that same little dollar research, which was cool ultimately, like, I don't know, you just get a little extra rewards.
Yeah.
I bought the Galarian Zigzagoon one, and that's why I still have that fucking quest.
That's why I don't buy them nowadays, only because like I was almost happened to me once, and I was like, this can't happen.
I'm like, I have to just wait until one shows up, and who God knows when. So, granted, with being at the park, and like, as I went to the park, I put a lure at all 3 because there's 3 right there and then 1 up above, and I would just walk a lap, and like by the time I could get around, like just walking at like a normal, comfortable pace, like they more or less like I'm checking every single one. Yeah. I should have told you this, but I was too busy trying to maximize my time that I didn't tell you. Did you know that when you tap on a Pokemon to check to see if it's shiny, for example, and then you back out, you can know that you've already clicked on a Pokemon because it will be facing you?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I had read that earlier that day, and so granted, if you're walking around, you got to be just more mindful of what you've checked.
Yeah.
Because like, well, now your orientation's moved, but like if you click it, you'll see that they'll turn to look at you, and then when you back out, it'll still be looking at you. So it's like a good way at a quick glance to know which ones you've already hit and not hit. So you're not like, I'm sure you've done it where I've hit like the same one 3 times in a row, and I'm like, I want the one that's just a hair to the left of it. I know. But I got fat fingies apparently, and no truth.
When I was young.
I tried for a while. I returned to form.
When I was young, I was told a fact that is not true. That has haunted me for the rest of my life. And it was that if you eat an apple in the morning, it is just as much of like a wake up as drinking a cup of coffee.
No, it's not.
It's a patently false statement.
I have eyes. Yeah.
Right. Like it is, and I must see. Yeah, it is, it's wrong.
And only now have I truly opened them for the first time.
Right. Like it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not true.
But in kid logic, it makes perfect sense.
Right. And I've been haunted by it forever.
Do you eat apples in the morning?
No.
And do you feel like that's why you're tired?
Yeah.
Or there's a part of you that's like, it knows it's ridiculous, but
Well,
like,
there is a part of me where I'm like, I have bought apples in the past, and I'm like, I'm going to start my day with an apple. And I'm like, my life is exactly the same. I'm like, nothing has changed. And like,
I think it's more of a consistency.
and I know it is a lie, and that's okay. But in my mind, every time if I like wake up and I'm like, I'm a little sleepy, I'm like, I'm going to grab myself like, you know, a Pepis, or I'm going to grab myself one of these. I'm like, could have been an apple. And I'm going to have to live with that for the rest of my life until dementia sets in and I forget that fact. But I learned it so early. It's going to be one of the last things to go. Life is pain.
I had a similar feeling. Well, not really. Similar situation. I had a similar, like the act of like reaching for your drink and then being like,
Could be a nursery.
It was me this morning when yesterday I had decided that like, I was like, oh, I'm just like kind of like tired. I just need to like get back up. I'm like, I'll have a second prime.
Yeah.
Which was the last one. And I thought, I'll get one before in the morning. I didn't. So when I got up this morning and I was like, that's right, I have one left. And I open it and it's not there. I just went, you know, I probably don't need to have one first thing in the morning. But also I want one first thing in the morning. But I'm not going to go get one because I need to go. Like I'm running late. Like I had to poop. And like that cut into my walk time.
Right. That takes days.
Sometimes. I mean, actually, for real. Something wild. So I've been real good lately, right? I've been working hard, like cooking a lot more in general, and like, you know, using my air fryer and, you know, slowly branching out. Like made a really good avocado toast today. Was actually really good. I didn't want to eat. I wasn't hungry. You ever see me with a stupid appetite? You know? No, I just like especially with my meds, like I don't want to eat in the morning, but I'm like, if I don't eat in the morning, I will not eat all day, and then I will binge eat at night because my body's now like, bro, you need to eat.
Bro.
So I'm like, okay, I'll try to work on that. Not a problem. But I just, as good as that's been, I recently was like, on Sunday, I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm really craving like fries and a milkshake. I think I told you about this. I'm like, I just want fries and a milkshake. I was like, you know what? Fuck, I've been good. I'll go. Because like, I won't create a bad habit. It like fucked my tummy up. Like one, I couldn't even finish nearly all the food that like I used to just polish away, which was a very cathartic feeling, I should say, where it's like, I feel like shit, but I'm glad because I expected to feel like shit. Right. And it feels affirming that like I do feel like shit and has now fucked up my body for a couple days. And I'm like, you know what? I don't, you know, turns out like you don't have to have like a lot of like really bad like bowel issues if you like. I didn't notice that I didn't have them because I now just am eating a lot less grease, full stop. Yeah. And it turns out like, that's kind of what it is. And I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, why would I do that? That's so much.
Good pooping. Yeah.
You want to know what a real thing is?
I'd love to know what a real thing is.
A real anxiety. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily anxiety, but like if you ever have tasks like this, I'm curious to know.
Okay.
I need to return the modem.
Yes.
To Amazon because I bought a newer modem with Cox and it was a whole fucking to do. I just need to return it and I need to do it before July 6th.
Yeah.
Just need to go drop it off, like print out the label, put it in a box, put the label on the box, and drop it off at the center.
Yeah.
That's all I have to do.
Yeah. Usually you just have to put it in a box and take it to the UPS store and they'll take care of everything.
Apparently. See, all of that is normal, easy task.
Well, I know it's not easy.
Do you want to know what the hardest part of this task so far is?
I'd love to know.
It is that I have this white printer that has some ink in it, but I cannot figure out how to get it to connect wirelessly, and I lost all like the paperwork, and it's almost like I just don't even want to deal with you. So I don't. My sister had this big black printer, which did connect to my computer and everything wirelessly and was perfect, but she had mentioned most recently that like she had me put it away because like it ran out of ink, and she's like, I'm not going to like buy a whole new ink cartridge because I'm not taking it with me, and like I don't need it. Like if you want to buy an ink cartridge, you can. I'm like, okay, well, I need to like check the status of like how much ink is actually left? Is it truly not printing anything? Or like, do I just need to buy like some black and like just figure out how much that ink is and just buy it? Like that just, so that's it.
Right.
That's where
Buy an ink cartridge.
seeing if I actually need to buy an ink cartridge, now I have plugged in the printer on my island 3 different times.
Right.
And turned it on 2 of those times.
Yeah.
And not gone to my computer to even attempt to find any information out.
Right.
Because it was a big task.
I mean, you could just trial by fire it and just try to print and see if it prints.
Well,
that'll tell you right there if there's ink levels.
But then if I don't have the ink levels, I'm going to have to figure out.
Crack that sucker open.
I'm just going to have to like Google like the printer name and then buy an ink cartridge.
Yeah.
But like, that's a lot.
Or you don't even have to Google it. You just open it and the ink cartridge will be there. And you'll go, oh, this is a Canon 130 XP or whatever.
Well, I just mean like I'll have to like put it online. I have to put ink cartridge this, and then like I have to search for it so that I can purchase it.
Just bop on down to a Staples. Bop on down.
But what if I write
Walmart.
the name down wrong?
Honestly, you could bop on down to a Walmart. They would have most of them for if it's a standard printer, common printer rather, not standard.
Because the only thing preventing me from getting my $127 back, which would be nice, to be honest.
A boon.
I've literally free money by just give them back the thing I didn't want to buy in the first place.
Yes.
That I bought because I felt bad and I was trying.
Yes.
When I was the one being slighted.
Yes.
Is that I'm not fully sure what's going on with this printer situation, so I have let that have a chokehold over me for 2 months.
Question. Are you even sure you need to print the label? Because
Yes.
the few things I have returned recently didn't have to print a label.
Well, it's not like I had taken it out of the box it had come in.
Yeah.
And so it is still in its little box thing. But they said just print out this label. That's it. Like you just need to print out this.
Usually in the instructions, like
I need to print out a single sheet of paper.
Right. Usually in the instructions for the things that I have returned, which is almost nothing because I hate returning. But the last 2 times I did it, it literally was like I went to it presuming I had to print it out, and it was like, no, just give this QR code to have it in a box that's taped shut, and have them scan this QR code, and they scan it, they print it, they stick it on it, and it's done.
I wonder if I could do that. I should probably reread the thing.
Yeah. So all I had to do was get it in a box.
Because I can do that. Like
Yeah.
that is so much of an easier task.
Yeah.
And like I reckon
Not every item is like that though. It depends on if it came from like an Amazon warehouse or if
like a
it came from,
fulfillment center.
Yeah, I think that's the mitigating factor, but I don't know. It's worth a shot. It's worth looking.
Yeah.
It's worth
But again, I just, it's one of those things where I'm at the same time able to acknowledge in the moment that I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Right.
Why am I being defeated?
This is a pebble on the road, and I've stopped the car.
Yes. I have decided to detour and just go somewhere else because like I had to wait at a red light.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think that's kind of funny.
It's
to
fighting
share.
in the streets. I know.
Do you have tasks like that?
Absolutely.
Where like for a fact, all the steps that it would take. You know that it legitimately would not be like it is actually super simple.
Oh yeah.
Like it's almost as if like I couldn't do that. But if you were like, hey, do you think you could like print a label for me? I'd go, yeah, I just got to like get like ink for my print. And I'll just go Google it real quick. No problem.
Yeah.
Because like it's not for me. Who doesn't deserve ink?
It's in service of another.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is an honor for me to assist you, and by proxy of that, figuring something out on my own.
Yeah.
That would be a boon. That would make me feel better about accomplishing tasks if it's not so that I can feel good about myself.
Right.
And have things that just will make things easier for me.
Right.
But rather that I was able to provide value to another because I put too much stock in
External validation rather than internal.
External validation rather than internal. And that I put too much effort into making sure that I provide value without recognizing that, I am enough. And it's fun. And it's all because of a printer.
Yeah.
And Cox Communications. Or the lack thereof.
It always comes back to them.
I mean, all of my problems just relate back to Cox.
Listen, we all came from one.
That was funny. That was a good one. All right.
Unless you were like a test tube baby, in which case, good for you.
Well, you gotta get sperm from somewhere.
From the bladder.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, they just like, you just kind of take like a little knife and you just do a little slit in the balls and just let some of the pee out.
Yeah.
And then you take one of the testes and you scoop some cum out. You just cut it open. You count the rings.
You pop it, you know.
Yeah, like a little gobstopper.
Pop like a little grape. That was testicle.
Oh, man. You ever think about like, if someone were to be like, imagine this was your dick, and they like slice a hot dog long ways, and like you're just like,
right.
I'm like, why do we have that reaction to things?
Because you're imagining it's a part of you being harmed. And your body doesn't want to be harmed.
That's correct. But it's crazy how like it could invoke that, even though it's like
right,
there is
it,
no
like,
threat.
Supersedes. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just because I decided, hey, let's pretend, and it's like, okay, panic attack.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I don't know. Life's crazy.
Maybe it's an empathetic response to the hot dog.
Mm-hmm. I wail for wiener.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see myself in that hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
I see my wee-wee in that wiener.
I just keep thinking of hot dog.
And so I must cry for my wiener.
I weep for the wieners.
Indeed.
If you ain't crying over dick, I don't know what to tell you.
What are you crying about? Why are you crying?
You ever get dick
why
down
crying?
and you're waiting for the towel and he just goes, why are you
Why are
crying?
you crying?
Come slap me.
Why are you crying?
It's what you wanted.
Stop crying or I'll hit you again.
Oh my God.
I'll give you something to cry about.
You better. This guy. Clip it out of context. You deserve heat. Well, except like
Need
fun
for
heat.
Heat.
Why can't they remake Most Wanted? Or they just
For
update
real.
the graphics?
Because they made Most Wanted. I'm like, this is not Most Wanted.
Isn't that? I played it with Brandon where it's like you could just
It's a
it's like an
lie.
overworld.
It's a lie.
No, like
It's not a remake. It's literally not a remake. It's a fully different game.
with the same name.
Yes. Which I'm like, what are you doing? I want them to make Need for Speed Least Wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's about real low profile crime.
I think it's just like it's California stopping on your commute to work
yeah.
and getting pulled over.
California. I almost got in a car accident yesterday.
Really?
It was very close. I was
Oh.
like, and it was fully that person's fault.
Oh shit.
Like, light was green all the way. Like, and they were sitting like, I was just gonna go through, and it was green and had been green as I'm approaching it, and they were in like the turn lane to go across, and they were on their phone or something. They hadn't noticed that like
The light was green.
that it
I
was
guess.
green, and then they apparently looked up and decided, oh, it's green, I'll go, without seeing that I was coming straight at them at 60.
Fun.
And it's not even like they couldn't see me. I'm in the truck.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Bruh, you'll see me.
bruh.
Bah.
Yeah, so he just pulled out right in front of me, almost fucking T-boned them.
Oh my God, that would be terrible.
It's very scary.
I had like a recent close call too. I don't remember exactly in the moment now what it was, but I remember at least, the very least, going like, "Ooh, like, oh, ooh."
Yeah. Well, it was one of those ones where it's like, you know, we've all had close calls, and sometimes they're our fault. And so you have to internally go, yeah, I almost caused an accident.
Like, oh fuck, I need to start being a little bit more vigilant.
I've had those. That was not this. I was like, I did nothing wrong, and you're crazy, and I almost hit you, and I would not be at fault.
Or like, God, I had someone fucking like just pulling up, like kind of coming into when I was on my way over here. Where like, especially like in neighborhoods, like dudes with big white trucks will just get uncomfortably close behind you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, it is a 35.
Cool it.
Like, I'm going 35.
Yeah.
You may not be happy, but it's a neighborhood.
That's when you brake check them and make them buy you a new car. If you get rear-ended in the state of Arizona, you're never at fault.
Never.
Never.
Even if I say, this is my fault.
They'll go, no, it's not, sweetie. It's okay.
But I don't want to,
He
like,
made
get
you say
hurt.
that, baby.
or I want to get.
That's even better. That's money, honey.
I want to get hurt.
That's small claims
I want to get
court,
the
baby.
smallest amount of hurt that is eligible to sue, but is not debilitating.
Right. You just go to a quick chiropractor and he goes crack crack and you feel great.
I don't trust chiropractors.
Okay.
They claim to be doctors,
Some of them do.
and I don't fuck with them. I don't want you to crack my neck wrong and I meet God.
But you wouldn't know.
I would know.
Well, no, because he doesn't exist.
That's true.
So you would just go black.
Yeah, unless he cracked my head into a new cult and meet the
could be
new
fun.
reincarnation of God.
That could be fun.
What if we're Jesus this summer? The reincarnation.
Pog came from the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Never forget.
I can't believe
That was so fun.
that was.
I read that and I was like, how delightful.
What a silly little funny
What a
time.
delightful little time.
I love how butterfly effects of things, because it's technically everything causes everything.
Yeah.
We're all just a reaction, baby.
Man, we're all just passengers on this rock.
Aren't we all just ones and
Floating
zeros?
through space.
Waiting.
Do you ever think that none of this is real and it's all in your head, and then you're like, it can't literally be that, because why would my brain come up with this much stuff? And it's because you don't understand your brain. I'm like, my brain wouldn't do this to me. And it's like, you don't know your brain. And I'm like, oh, touche.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I usually just
I'm like, are my friends real autonomous beings that also have their complete own independent life, or
Right.
do they only exist when I think about them?
yeah, are they just a facet of my imagination? I'm like, well, no, because if I was making someone, I wouldn't make them do that. And it's like, yeah, but you're not consciously making them, in the same way that when you're having a dream, yeah, things aren't always just perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. But then I just go onto YouTube and just watch a summoning cell video and I feel better.
Well, I mean, but I also could be well, at the same time, I know that they're real because I could just get in a car and just go drive to my sister's house and
Right.
see her. She's there. I
Right.
know she is. But I guess, you never know.
Yeah.
I tend to think a lot about consciousness in a sense of I'm all the my thoughts and feelings, and I tend to, whenever something happens, I'm am I self-centered because I'm worried about how this affects me and my reactions to it? And it turns out no, you are just like everybody else who's also reacting to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like everyone's only concerned with themselves, and it's think about that
Yeah.
for a second, because self-preservation kicks in, and it's almost once you can accept that everyone else is more worried about themselves at a base level, you start to realize, God, they probably think this about me. I don't think they even have that. I don't think they think about you like that in any way. That thought never even crosses their mind as a possibility, because the thing that they're worried about, they would bring it up to you and you'd go, I've never once thought that, so I don't know why you're worried about that.
And that's T, but the problem is there also is that part that then my brain says all of that and I'm like, yes, that is correct. Most people are not thinking about me. But then I'm like, some people are, because I'm thinking about actions that other people have done to me.
That's fair.
And so they have also thought about actions that I have done to them.
Yes. Not actions you've done. I'm talking more about insecurities.
No, I know. I don't mean I don't mean actions
Yes,
done.
two,
You know what
two,
I mean?
two separate things, but at the same time, the same thing. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it is true, and one should take solace in the fact that it's yes, in most situations people aren't thinking about you and
the
don't
thing
care.
you're worried about 80% of the time.
I think
they're not thinking about
I think the next step after addressing that, in most cases, that person is not thinking about it. I think the step 2 then is that even on the small chance that they are, that doesn't actually affect you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Your happiness has to be your top priority.
It really does.
Other people have to just be a consideration,
I,
a cherished
it's
consideration.
it was interesting that you said that earlier, because it did kind of hit a little different for me. I'm my happiness is my top priority, but your happiness is part of the consideration.
Yes, it's an important consideration.
I do take that into account, but I'm also still unfortunately, my personal needs will outweigh, but because I do take it into consideration, that doesn't mean that I can't compromise. Mm-hmm. It's no, I did think about it, and I this is what I feel comfortable doing that won't hurt you as much, and will still do whatever. And then most of the time people are just oh, okay. And if you were to be like, well, actually, like, if you were to be like, I'm doing this selfish thing, it's like, oh, did you even like consider my feelings? But then when you just go, I considered your feelings and I'm going to do this because it's going to be happier for me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know what? I appreciate you at least, like, you know, cool. Like, I still feel validated that you not doing the thing I said or to do or whatever does not mean that you do not think that I am a good person or that I am a stupid
Worthy
person.
of consideration.
Exactly. Yeah, like, it's almost as if anxiety and internal, like, all the stuff that goes on in our heads that is hard to, like, express because it is just, like, thought chains. Mm-hmm. It's like, bro, it's a vegetable. Calm down. Right? Like, it's like, you're, like, extrapolating way too... Get off AO3. You're, like, reading way too much into it, honey.
Sometimes it's just an apple.
Sometimes the wall is yellow because the writer had a yellow wall. And that's the truth. My truth. That's a daddy delight.
Ooh.
Ooh. It's got the way you're making me feel. Okay.
I listened to a cover of Love It If We Made It, which was originally recorded by the 1975. But in this case, the cover was recorded by...
The Who?
Ria Sawayama.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Very good. I liked it. It's good. I like it. I probably said her name wrong, in which case, apologies. But very good.
Okay. I'll check it
I
out.
don't know why I just remembered that, but
Yeah.
I did.
No, it's fun. It's fresh. It's fierce. Honk snort. Me, 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 me.
Honk chew. Honk chew.
Me, me.
Me, me. Me, me.
Me.
Me, me.
You.
Me, me.
Me, me.
I'm first.
Snork.
Honk chew.
Honk. Me. Snort. Me, 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 me. There it is. That's sound effects, baby.
There it is.
Hoop. There it is. That's all I got.
That's all I have.
Yeah,
It's been an hour and 50 minutes.
We got the 30. I think we did get 30 minutes out of it.
We did. We pulled.
We could. We had to start the ending so that we could know that we're allowed to start winding
We had
down.
to end so that we could start the 30-minute clock to end.
The ending, it's more of an announcement that the episode will be ending soon.
Right.
TM.
Right. When I say I'm coming, that starts the clock.
It was like, I was watching, I forget what I was watching. It was either a YouTube video or a stream, and it was like a TikTok thing or like a YouTube short, whatever. Maybe it was something that just someone posted, like in the funnies. But it's this comedian guy who's like, you guys know Joy jerk off instruction porn? Yeah. And at first I went like, okay.
I've never called it Joy. I was in my head. I just went JOI.
JOI, yeah,
it's acronym. But yes,
I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like,
listening.
oh,
we're going.
You're not supposed to talk about boy secrets, but
We
okay.
don't talk about such things, but okay.
Never.
Yeah,
I guess maybe they're not dedicated to boy. They gotta be girl secrets or non-binary secrets. I never thought about.
Well, that would be FBI
Mm-hmm.
flicking bean instructions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which is just like a good salsa.
Well, mashing bean instructions.
But like he like
Pestle
did
and
this.
mortar.
We could put the grind. I've been thinking about getting a pestle and mortar for my avocados.
For your clitoris.
For my clitoris. Yeah, my cooking clitoris.
Of course.
No, but I just thought it was so funny because it was just like so out of control. And the thing that he made a comment on about it, I just like laughed, but it's one of those laughs where you're like, oh, and then you go like, did anyone see me laugh to this? And I was live, so of course they did. I'm pretty sure I was live at the time. Uh-huh. But he's like, my problem is that all of these videos, it's like, they're like, okay, like, let's get you worked up. And it's like 20 minutes. And it's like, I came ready.
Oh, well, yeah.
And I'm like, I thought it was so funny because I'm like, you know what?
That's tea.
I feel like that is tea.
Yeah.
For sometimes.
Often, yeah.
And where it's like, I don't know when it's going to be good.
Well, you just jump a little ahead.
Well, yeah.
Boop, boop.
Well, I think the other part is that when...
I don't need instructions, though. I know how to do it.
I know. I'm aware. They never explain how to do it.
Well, some of them do.
I've learned no new
Some
grip
of the more
techniques.
in-depth ones, they're like telling you like where to like, you know, twisty. And I'm like,
Rotate 47 degrees.
well, some of them are literally like, hold it like this and then hold it like that and like do this. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I just keep doing it how I want to do it. I don't like JOI.
No.
It's not, I don't like being told what to do in that regard. I'm like, I know me.
Yeah.
I'm good. Just say something like horny that'll make me want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, but like not like too much. Like pretend like you're sexting me while I'm at work. That's how I want to be talked to.
Well,
You know, where it's like just trying to like get you worked up, but like nothing too over the line. Like innuendo. That's fun.
there you go.
Which is why I only fuck ChatGPT.
And I say, talk dirty to me.
And it says,
ChatGPT.
dirt was originally invented when the ground said, I want to move.
John Dirt invented dirt in the same year that he wrote the capitalism song.
Oh, Joe Dirt.
John Dirt, his brother.
Oh, classic. I just had a memory of something that I was like, I got all excited about, but I don't remember what it was. So, oh well.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, I got nothing. Anyway, that's just very funny to me. I just found it so fucking funny. I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm glad someone had the courage to say
It's true though. Like sometimes you're just sort of like, maybe I would like to do this, and then you're good to go from the start. Sometimes you're like, I'm rip roaring ready to go.
Bro, I'm falling asleep. Like, I
brought the pregame. We're ready.
Yeah.
It's time for the main event.
And like, you know, just like, let's go. And then sometimes
Let's
it's like,
scoot.
do you have any concept of how long things take? Person making this video?
Yeah.
Because like, when it's like, okay, and then it's like, okay, it's like, that's not done.
I know. Well, I've had it both ways. Where sometimes like, or if you're like watching, this is going down the rabbit hole. Have you ever like been watching something and you're literally just like you're watching it and you're like, why haven't you come yet? For the love of God, why haven't you come yet? Is it that bad?
Oh yeah, like,
I'm like, you've been getting blown for so long.
you ever just stop because of the plot and you just are watching?
Yeah.
There's some wild
Because
ones.
it just won't stop.
Or
I'm
just like,
what is...
you're just like, I don't even like, I'm just like, okay, what is the story that's going
I've
on
gone past
here?
the point of horny. Now I'm just like, what is going to happen?
Like, this is a long time. Like, one thing that I have found in my personal experience that, especially when you include like the foreplay and like the build up for the whole experience and aftercare as a whole thing, like it goes by very fast in the moment, and you may not realize it does, as a lot of time will pass. And there's times where it's like, bro, I don't have 35 minutes to like get the setup that was explained in the little preview.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't need this.
Sometimes we don't need the preamble.
And then
Sometimes we do.
I want to say there was one video I saw when I was like a teenager that was like, it was like a 10-minute video. And I swear to God, the first 9 minutes were like the long, unedited like setup like of the thing. And then quick cut for a minute, cut off too soon, like buy, you know, the video on this. And I just went, I just saw an ad.
Yeah.
They got me for 10 minutes.
They got me, gal.
They got me for 10 minutes on the ad. And it's like, I didn't know you could skip around in videos at the time.
Yeah.
It was
Some
young.
video players, they don't do it very well. Back in the day, integrated into the web page. Sometimes it wasn't great.
What happened to
No, go ahead.
unsecured websites where it's just like ASCII art and like
Yeah.
some PNGs that you're not going to be able to get anymore?
Yeah, when the internet was just the wild, wild west. Everyone just ran out there and staked their little claim, and they said, "This is mine." And you click that website, and it starts blasting "Girlfriend" by Avril Lavigne, and there's ASCII art at the top, and you can't make it stop, and you can't get out in time.
And like, you know that like someone's going to know that like if they're hearing an Avril Lavigne song that like I'm watching a sin to God.
I have to because I don't know who this
I mean,
person-
I've never watched porn, to be clear.
No, this is stories. I'm not going to
This is all jokes.
I'm not going to put
Yeah.
this on blast on this, but I'm going to talk around it. because like I don't know this person, and like I'm kind of scared that like if this person was to get put on blast, perhaps could strike out.
Oh.
I had a video recommended to me somehow. You ever get like sometimes you'll get recommended a video that has like 2 views?
Yes. Oh, I love forbidden media.
I had.
It's not forbidden, but just like
feels that way. Feels that way.
there's this Mormon vlogger I've been watching.
I had a
I'll
video.
have to tell you about it.
I had a
another time.
video recommended to me, and I don't know if I should talk about it because they might look it up. Suffice to say, it was a live stream.
Okay.
I'll talk around it. We
Yeah.
can talk
Do your
after.
best to talk around it.
It was a live stream with 16 views that got recommended to me. This is after this is like a year old or something. So it was a live stream, and over the course of the full stream and a year since, it has accrued 16 views.
Which is almost like that's like raw footage.
Right.
Like that's some good
Like,
shit.
who was this live for? And it was of a person, a guy, doing a like acting out, basically like playing, I guess, like doing like acting out a fan fiction, if you will, of a certain franchise with dolls of that franchise.
Oh, fun.
With him like fully in camera, like not like trying to like do it like you know like cutting or anything, like just sort of like da, 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 da.
Like the like almost trope of like dude plays with toys.
Yeah,
And like how long was this live stream? Like an hour?
2 hours.
Did you watch it?
No. I clicked it just because I was like, this is a joke. It's not a joke. It's very serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is wild.
But also like good for him.
Well, yeah, it's fine. Well, he seemed a little scary,
Yeah.
but like conceptually good for him.
Yeah, like you know what? For whatever his growth was, like I'm glad that he did that for him.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it,
I don't want to watch it.
but that's the wrong audience.
Exactly. I'm not one of the 16. I was unlucky 17.
Unlucky 17.
And that happens sometimes. You know?
It really. You don't think it's how it's
Nobody
gonna
lets
get
you when you're 17.
17. They don't let you watch the video. You can't watch and enjoy the live stream. Dun 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 dun.
Are we done?
Yeah. Good night.
Goodbye.